Still on the first part, introducing the Ichimoku Kinko here, and it is time to take a look at the second indicator, the second element of the Ichimoku Kinko here, and that is represented by the Kinjun line. While on the previous recording we've looked at how the Kinjun line is calculated, basically averaging the highest high and the lowest low for the past 26 period and plotted that area for the current candle. In this recording and in this part, we're going to try to look at how the Kinjun line is being used and what to look for. Between the two elements presented so far, the Kinjun is by far the most important one, simply by the fact that it is referring to a longer period than the Tenkan does. Taking into consideration the way it is calculated, when price is reaching Kinjun, or the blue line here, let me mark the Kinjun. Let me change the Tenkan here because that was the Tenkan that we make it different so we can see it. And this is the Kinjun we are talking about. So by the time price is reaching the Kinjun or the blue line, traders should look for that area to offer important support and resistance depending the market the market price is in. So to provide important support and resistance, as the element is averaging the highest high and the lowest low for the past 26 periods. For example, this is when price comes from the 134.16 going to the downside, touching the Kinjun here for the first time, basically averaging the highest high and the lowest low from the last 26 periods. This is the 26 candles, 26 days. So the lowest low from here to highest high from there, average, and you have the value for Kinjun. Now this is support, as you can see. This is a daily chart. Then at the next opening on Sunday evening, with early New Zealand and early Australia trading going on. So with Sunday here and then with Monday in London and New York, you have quite a bounce, a bit of a bounce for a couple of days. Even for the third day, you have a move to the upside, almost 38.2 out of that bearish candle, and then the falling trend is resuming. So that should be taken into consideration. Important support or resistance area when price meets the Kinjun. In this case, it was a bullish environment before, and now it should provide support. In a bearish environment, it should provide resistance. Take a look here. Price is going from the downside here with this huge daily candle. It is one of the biggest daily candles in years we've seen in the euro dollar, coming from the opening price of 127.75 and going to 132.10. So quite a lot of pips there, and even with such a strong candle, the Kinjun, which offers the average between the highest high and the lowest low for the past 26 periods, is proving to be a resistance in the first place. See, price is being rejected, and for the next 1, 2, 3, 4 days, it is just being rejected to the downside until finally decides to continue the bullish market. This is how it should be treated. Let's go, and the examples can continue. On the next instance here, this is a bearish environment. Price is trending to the downside. What does a bearish environment mean? Kinko below everything, below the price, below the cloud, below the Kinjun and Tenkan. Price coming below the cloud. You have the cross here, the bearish cross, and yet price is failing to even test the Tenkan, as you can see here, even test the Tenkan. By the time it is testing the first time the Tenkan, you have a small pullback. So it is testing the Tenkan, a small pullback for the same candle in the same day, and at the opening of the next candle, even there you have a nice pullback. Now, depending on the strategies that you will use and you can use when trading binary options, you may decide that by the time price is reaching the Kinjun line, you may decide in engaging short-term or medium-term binary option strategies, so it remains to be seen. A Kinko cross below or above the Kinjun is another clue the trending environment is changing, and this should be considered as well. So looking at how to use the Kinjun is not only to look at the support and resistance area, but also looking at the Kinjun in relation with the other elements the Ichimoku indicator offers. The Kinjun Tenkan cross, for example, the higher the time frame, the better the powerful the pattern. Here you have a bearish cross, for example. Here you have a bullish cross. This is a bearish cross as well. So the relationship, the cross between Kinjun and Tenkan is extremely important. By the time Kinjun goes above or below the actual cloud, then this is also a good clue. Changes in the previous trend are expected, and in most of the cases such a move shows a new trend already began. However, out of everything mentioned earlier, the support resistance element is the most important one, and the higher the time frame, the stronger the area is. Now please stay tuned for the next recording as we are moving to our next element.